Hello, Virgo and Virgo Rising. Welcome to your May 2016 reading. I hope that this finds you in good health, and I'm really excited to take a look and see what this retrograde period is going to bring for you. Just a reminder, this pretty much is going to go through most of the month until almost the last week. I believe it's the 22nd. So go ahead and take a deep breath and don't panic. That's sort of my approach towards retrograde. There's a lot of misconceptions about it. Of course, it isn't a great time to start brand new things, but it's a fantastic time to take a look at things that you haven't finished or anything that you've been trying to maybe see to, not just see to fruition, but like break a cycle. So if you're trying to change your diet, break an addiction, make progress on a goal like saving or spending, whatever, this is the time when the universe opens up a door and lets you re-examine, okay? So without going any deeper into that, I just want to say it'll be a normal reading with the exception of the Catalyst card. I'm going to pull a Shadow and Light card, Shadow being a trigger, Light being an opportunity, and that way you can sort of see beneath the veneer and know what's really worth your time and effort this month. First things first, your channeled message for this month is really to exercise compassion in all that you do. And I mean, compassion is an interesting word because sometimes I think it gets misunderstood that it makes you maybe seem less strong to be compassionate, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Acting with kindness, compassion, empathy, I think that's really what is coming forward for you this month. And being compassionate towards others, really trying to understand motivations instead of what your preconceptions are. That's probably the best thing that you could focus on. Okay, so let's take a look at those two cards that I mentioned, starting with what is your triggers, what could get in the way of you achieving your goals this month. And actually this card is the one that wants to come out. I think it's come up for almost every sign this month. It's a beautiful deck, and I'd love to bring other cards out, but you know what? There's a very common message this month that please let go of the perfectionist vibe. It's funny. It's at least the third time it came through. Now for you, what I'm getting with the perfection is there's a choice. This reminds me very, very gently of the Two of Swords. I see the two swords here, but they're actually much less of a block. So you may have a sort of fork in the road where you have to make a decision. You can't do both, is what this message is saying, but just because you choose one path doesn't mean that the other one won't be there later for you to explore. So I want you to trust your intuition and go forward, making the best decision you can. None of us, doesn't matter how many methods of divination you use, how connected you are to spirit, there's no guarantees. There's always free will and random acts that could happen. This card is showing you that you need to be prepared and you need to let go of being so much of a perfectionist, and a lot of times it's how you judge yourself as a perfectionist. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if you think it's not good enough. Those words have power, so I want you to dissolve them, let them go, and please just think that I'm doing the best that I can, and you'll know when it's time to move on. But for that decision point, you're going to have to make something around the 12th is what came through for me. So allow yourself to go forward with that and try not to stress out too much about it, because I think we're always sort of improving ourselves. Perfection, that really doesn't happen, I don't think, on this plane, on this planet. We keep working towards it, but you're never going to be quote unquote perfect. All right, so the light opportunity, it says, release the dark wound, let love live. So the dark wound in this case could be a love that got away, of sort of any sort of anger or resentment that you're holding towards someone else. And the interesting thing here, this happens in both sort of situations where we think someone has power and also situations where we wonder why we're stuck. A lot of times we're the ones that are holding on, or we're the ones that are providing power, because power really isn't taken. There is a sort of two-way street where you acknowledge and allow someone to take your power. So this card is saying release the power that they may have, and then also release feeling like you need to be a martyr. Anytime I see the water in cards, it means deep emotions. And some of us are sort of hiding in that well of deep emotions, feeling like we'll never get out. This person's so much stronger than you are. If that's the case, be compassionate towards yourself. Realize that the worst is probably already over, and it's now time. Think today. Say it out loud, like, I'm ready to move on. And there's power there. You can actually break the bonds that are sort of tying you with someone else. All right, so now let's look at your forecast for this month and see what else is coming through, if we have any more information on where some of these perfectionist tendencies may be coming through. And the Justice card flipped out right in the middle. So Justice reversed especially is it's about needing to let go. And I see some of you are holding on to, this can be either a place that you're living or sometimes a role in life, a role or a job. It is time for you to move on. You've already thought about it. And if you don't act, some of you may be either let go, broken up with, somehow sort of ousted from a position that's no longer suiting you. The interesting thing is you're really good, like I feel like you've done a lot of hard work in the areas of family and then also in the areas of like work and stability. You're feeling a little frustrated on your own speed in getting where you want, particularly when it comes to taking your ideas and having other people sort of understand them or having them come into fruition. I encourage you to be patient on that because it takes time. The other thing here is that around the 15th of the month, you could be experiencing a lull in physical sort of energy. I see some fatigue setting in. For some of you, this is avoidable though. Basically, the reason the fatigue is coming through is it's without a doubt time for you to basically take care of yourself, to pay attention to warning signs. The 8, particularly this is someone who's no longer sort of present. And so if things are sort of showing you that, hey, it's time to move on, allow it to happen here. One thing that I see in the environment card here is there could be a very needy person in your life. It could be an authority figure. Usually the Empress is either a boss or a mother or a very, it could be a parent, even a father, but it's a very demanding, I would say. Demanding in that I need you for this, or making a sort of a codependent connection with you. That's why the card's reversed. True love from a parent, guardian, or mentor comes without strings. And when this card would normally come through, it would be a nurturing card, but reversed, it means that sometimes the role is reversed. You might have to be playing the role of parent or teacher to someone that is your superior, or again, a feeling of guilt when you're ready to move on and grow in your life. Your decision now is to continue to play that role or to move on. And knowing that sometimes you're never going to be good enough for some of these family members or authority figures, you have to eventually make up your own mind. And you have a lot of good choices in front of you, more good than bad. So trust your intuition, move forward, and don't apologize for that. I see June being a fabulous month for you. May is the struggle. You're going to come out victorious in June, and I feel that you'll also be really well received, especially if it's you putting out a creative work, you asking for advancement, or just stating who you are. It could be a sort of coming out of sorts, like you always thought I was this, but this is who I truly am. People are going to be more ready and willing to open up and accept or see you for who you want to be and who you are becoming. So let's expand the forecast now and see what's coming through for health and well-being, knowing that health does include all aspects of your life, mind, body, and spirit. So for you, one thing that I'm seeing right now is to avoid harsh environments and allergens. Now the thing with allergens here, it also means people, because cards are all symbolic, but what I got here was people that agitate you. If there are situations in your life, this could be an in-law, this could be a circle of friends who you start to feel like you're falling out of sequence with, that you're no longer really empathizing and feeling like they understand you. Whoever's sort of agitating you, but not in a way that's putting you further on your path, it's time to look at them and say, thank you, I need to move on, or just to sort of let that go away. The other thing with avoid allergens, what you want to be doing this month, it is retrograde, and this is a great activity for retrograde. You need to start to clean your space, and a deep cleaning is in order here. So get out the bleach, get out the 409, get out the Windex, like actually go through and clean floor to ceilings, sort of your bedroom, your work area, anywhere where there might be dust that's sort of building up. This is going to help you a lot. It's also going to move the energy, which is what retrograde is about. Okay, so let's take a look at wealth, finance, and opportunity. Actually, that card wants to come out. And guess what it says? Compassion. And so your channeled word was compassion. And now what we're seeing is that's going to directly help you in the areas of finance, wealth management, career. And what you want to try to avoid are getting into any sort of arguments. The Page of Swords shows that if you try to fight, it may be a fight that you lose. Not a good month for litigation. If you've already started it, don't freak out. This is for starting new litigation. Sometimes you still have to do it during retrograde. What it means is double up with your lawyer, be extra careful with all of your facts. With work, make sure that contracts are really executed to the letter. Make sure that your own written communications in particular are finely tuned and passed through a couple set of eyes, okay? But mostly it means try to understand it from the other person's point of view. Avoid feeling like you're the victim, or that they're victimizing you, or that they're helpless. Let's stop casting ourselves in roles that are not necessarily the full truth. Now, sometimes I get comments saying, don't say I'm playing the victim. I'm not. You have to realize it's an interpretation. What I mean by this is sometimes there's a perception that someone is taking the power. People are strong. Sometimes people appear stronger than us. What I want you to do when that happens is to start to build your own sense of knowing that you're worth getting out of situations like that. So if it is a work environment and it feels constricting, or if it feels like there's an abuse of power at work, and maybe they are sometimes putting you in a position where you feel victimized, then you are a victim there. But the way to get out is to stop allowing certain elements of it to happen. So either speak up, start to look for another job, work through the channel of human resources. There's a lot of ways to get through it. When it's with friendships, there's much more choice involved with that. Family situations and marital situations, of course, are much more complicated. But the key thing here is your kindness, or your modeling of behavior that you'd like to receive, is what's going to turn the tide in your favor. And that's going to open up a crack. And through that crack, you will be able to get further towards your sort of self-empowerment, getting out of the situation, or getting a leg up, okay? Hopefully I cleared that up. Now for love and for relationships as well, let's take a look and see what's coming through for you. Nope, it's this card that wants to come out. So instead of letting things go completely, if there is a relationship in your life that you think is worth saving, this is a month where reconciliation is easier. And also if there's a friendship that might have fallen away, we see the Six of Cups in the past showing a longing to reconnect with a loved one or a best friend. This is a great month, particularly right as retrograde is starting to almost be finished, but around the 16th would be very good for you through the end of the month. All right, now let's take a check at your destiny and see what this month really is opening up for you as far as lessons and opportunities. Another card which is very popular this month is Generations. So the Generations card is about working with people that are either older or younger than you. So if you're further along and want to start to help people that are a little bit younger, this is your chance to play the role of a mentor, to help, to give it back, because that positivity is going to help open up other doors for you. And also, it's just good business, it's good it makes perfect sense as a human being. It's what we're supposed to be doing. A line from Dickens came to mind, which is from A Christmas Carol, "Humankind is my business," or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But basically, compassion and being a good human and placing the greater good in your list of what's important. That should be your day-to-day business. So reaching out to your ancestors, maybe it's an aunt, a grandfather, someone that is in a nursing home, someone that needs your help and support. That's great if you're younger. And if you're older, then it's helping someone younger appreciate things. So there's room at both ends of the equation. And if you're somewhere in the middle, it's reaching out in either direction, whatever feels good. What this also means on a spiritual level is to call in the help and the wisdom of your ancestors. Because just as we have spirit guides, we also have ancestral spirits that want to help us, those who have crossed, those that still care about us and maybe aren't fully ready to move on and reincarnate or go into a pure energy existence. They want to see and help and nurture, and sometimes calling them in lets them clear their conscience, and not just their conscience, but their karma. So if you didn't have a great experience with a parent or a loved one while they were alive, but you started to make amends, what you could do now is put out a prayer and say, this is a time when you could come through for me. You didn't do it when you were living. I need your help now. I'm going to give you a chance if you want to help me. And then thank them for letting you, for doing that for you too. But your ancestors are always there to help you if you'd like. By all means, call the benevolent ones as well. But it is a chance, since we're in retrograde, to mend the bridges with other ones. And there doesn't have to be an agenda. It could just be reaching out and saying, I've been holding on to a lot of my anger towards you, whoever it is, former partner, grandmother, father, whatever, and just say, my gift to you during retrograde is that I'm letting go, and I hope you can too. That's something great that you can do. So remember, your ancestors are still connected to you always, and the key thing with this card is, if you look at the sort of the snake here, it's about power. So they want to help and empower you, and through the chain of, like through the yoga that I work with, the golden chain, you can connect with higher ascended masters to help you get on a path that's better for you. So call on your ancestors, the same sort of chain of enlightenment, and say, please, and call, and you can say, let this be spirits of love, light, and compassion. I'm ready now to start to develop my own spiritual path. If you could give me the strength and the signs to make the right decisions. There's a great prayer that incorporates your ancestors. Okay, so a lot of focus on that. Sorry, but it was a big message that came through. The other big thing for you is compassion, especially since a channeled message came through as well as a card. So what I want you to focus on in your wealth areas is wealth and job and well-being with sort of material goods. Just understand that people around you are doing the best that they can, and sometimes they make bad decisions, and rather than sort of calling them out, try to work with them and achieve some sort of a consensus or a happy ending. It's going to help you at work. Last sort of summary here, it's time for many of you to step away from either a location or perhaps a situation, maybe a long-term marriage that's no longer working. If there are children or money involved, it looks like it's going to work out for you. The problem will be in energy and a loss of your own sort of sense of who you are. Also, just be careful of speech, of energy overall. You need to face your fears this month. Let go of any sort of codependent or domineering empress type figure, which again can still be a man, but typically is a woman, and either like an authority figure or a parental type figure. You have a lot of decisions to make, but like I said at the beginning, I feel like you already know where to go with this, and June's going to be great. So all you need to kind of do this month is push, avoid situations that are going to try to pull you off path. Try if you can to rebuild, and then know that you have a lot of help. The Ancestor card also shows community to me. So you have a lot of help. I feel like you've been working hard in the past to build that sense of community. So call on it when you need it, okay? That sums up your reading for this month. If you ever want a one-on-one reading, by all means reach out to me. I'll post the link in the corner. I offer them by telephone, by FaceTime, and by Skype. If you just like to keep in touch and know when I release a new video, the easiest way is simply to subscribe to this channel. But I'm on most major social networks, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I have a newsletter too. And the newsletter is probably the key way to know when something's published, because it's going to come straight into your inbox. So I'll post links on this page just so that it'll be a one-click for you. Finally, I just want to say thank you. Every month you have a lot of choices here, and it really is my honor, and I want to express gratitude for the fact that you wanted me to help you out, or you decided to spend some time with me this month. So I wish you all the best. Sat Nam, many blessings, and a lot of prosperity this month, okay? It's retrograde, but don't freak out. You're going to be fine. Bye-bye.